Welcome into Titans Tube. This is going to be a Week 1 recap of the Titans versus the Vikings, and the Titans lost. Dang it!
Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome to Titans Tube. This is going to be a recap video of the game, the horrible game that we watched yesterday. We were all witnesses to the Vikings beating the Titans 25-16. So this video is just going to be a quick summary where we kind of grade our play, our team's play, the coaching, special teams, offense, defense, and give you some quick hits on pros and cons of what we did well, what we can improve on. If you want to hear the kind of raw and uncut reactions of us, we have another video that covers that, and it's also available via podcast. It's a little bit longer, so put it in, pop it in on your way to work or something, listen to what we have to say. We were kind of mad because it was right after the game, so we kind of went on some rants.
Very reactionary.
Yes, very reactionary, but we're going to be doing that each week. So this was our first one, so cut us some slack. Hopefully we'll be improving the podcast each week. But yeah, if you want to hear our just overall, just kind of ranting reactions, check that one out now. Okay, so on to the summary of the game. Let's start with the offense. So just right off the bat, something that comes to my mind, Tajay Sharp.
Big P, big pro.
Big pro. He played great. Not just good, but great.
Absolutely. His first game in the NFL was everything we could have hoped for after watching him make some really good plays in the preseason. He caught everything thrown his way, or almost everything that he could catch was caught. I think he had like 11 targets, caught 7 of them, all in traffic. He's becoming that dependable, reliable receiver. Like we say in the podcast, I'm sold on him. I think this is a fantastic pickup, and he's already looking like our number 1 option. So good to see Tajay Sharp already making a difference for us this early.
He's not a guy who can take the top off the defense, but he's definitely a possession receiver that, is gonna help us out in the long run for sure.
Got that consistency.
So what did you think about Mariota's play as a whole?
Mariota's play as a whole, it's hard to say because he played well. In the first half, he was facilitating the offense. He was making calls at the line, reading the defense, trying to make changes to get our guys matched up in the best position possible. And he was moving the ball, like I was saying. I mean, he had 270-something passing yards.
271.
But man, throwing in those turnovers, though, in the second half really was the difference in the game, and they were some pretty ugly turnovers. He gave the ball to the Vikings defense twice that went for immediate touchdowns, so that really brings down his overall performance. I mean, if he eliminates those mistakes, I mean, the Titans are in the game and very well could be in the position to win the game, but those mistakes really cost us.
They really did. And honestly, they were, especially the interception, and we talked about this, but was just kind of like a rookie mistake. I mean, completely. Just panicked, rushed, tried to do too much, and ended up costing the team pretty much the game, because from that point on, the momentum was gone.
Yeah.
And it just went downhill. The wheels fell off. So
yeah, I do think he did a lot of good things, but that just gets overshadowed by the costly turnovers that went for, I think they amounted to 13 points for the Vikings, which is
unacceptable.
It's unacceptable, unfortunately. So he's got to eliminate those mistakes. But overall, he did do some good things in the game.
Last on offense, the word that we've been hearing all offseason. Let's talk about how the exotic smash mouth run panned out in the first game. It started off well early, in my opinion. I mean, we came out, first possession, we had both Henry and Murray in the backfield, and I liked that set. I think we motioned Henry into a wide receiver slot at first. I was liking what I was seeing, and we were gaining positive yards on early downs. But the wheels kind of fell off on that part, too.
I mean, if you look at the stats, Murray and Henry combined for 18 carries for 45 yards. That's not exactly what you want to see if you're calling yourself a smash mouth team, is only given our 2-star running backs a combined 18 carries. Adrian Peterson, I think, had 19 by himself, so he had more than both of our guys.
He did, and the majority of those carries, I think, were still in the first half, which is crazy because we were still leading, even coming out of halftime. Yeah, they got those early 3 points, but I just felt like we completely went away from the smash mouth and the power run game in the second half.
And even when we lost the lead in the fourth quarter, when it was, 12-10, I forget what the scores are. Maybe it was 15-10 at one point. That's still a one-possession game. You're in the game. There's no reason to go away from the philosophy still at that point. We can still pound the ball and move the ball playing our style of Titans football. But yeah, we went away from that. Mariota threw the ball 41 times, which is kind of asking a lot from him whenever the team was supposed to be bringing him a lot of help to help him out. A big thing about running backs is that, you got to keep feeding them to where they find that rhythm. And we didn't do that enough, in my opinion.
So overall, Tajay Sharp was definitely a pro. I thought the run game early, smash mouth looked good early, but went away from it. But the big knock on the offense, the turnovers. 3 turnovers, just gift wrapped to the Vikings. We were 0-3 in the turnover differential. Like, we're not going to win games with that. So our grade for our offense is a D+. Just cannot have the turnovers.
Yeah, turnovers. We knocked them down a letter grade for each turnover.
Yeah. Okay, so on to the defense. Let's start with the pros. Honestly, I thought the run game was fantastic. We completely shut down Adrian Peterson, which was honestly what I was worried about. I thought he was going to break out, and if he got going, there would be no way to stop Minnesota, even without Teddy Bridgewater. But our run defense held Adrian Peterson. He had 19 carries for 31 yards. That's 1.6 yards.
And that just
average.
That doesn't happen to Adrian Peterson.
No,
Every team that plays the Vikings keys on stopping Adrian Peterson, and usually he always has a really good game.
He still gets his 80 to 100 yards and probably a few touchdowns. Did not happen.
The defense shut him down, and I was really pleasing to see for that. And Sean Hill, he came in and played the perfect game manager play. He made the throws when he had to. He was completing passes on third downs. Making the right decisions, not making any mistakes at all. And a knock on the defense is, in terms of the passing game, is that we weren't getting to Sean Hill. We didn't record a single sack. We didn't record a single turnover, which usually is bad, but our defense played outstanding other than those two aspects.
And like you said, there was no pass rush. I don't know what happened. I don't know if we were scheming just for stop the run and we were going to try to let Sean Hill beat us through the air, but man, we got to put some more pressure on the quarterback, especially a backup.
We had good coverage on receivers on multiple plays where we just couldn't knock the ball away. It was put in a tight window for the receiver, and they were able to make the catches and make the big plays for him.
I don't want to knock the secondary as much because I think that starts up front with the pass rush, which we need to do a better job, especially next week against Detroit. Overall, run defense was phenomenal, I think. I did think our secondary and our pass rush, though, kind of brought it down a little bit. It was a little too soft, a little too easy. Didn't record any sacks or turnovers.
Still played well enough, though, to win the game, and we
blew it.
And we blew it on offense by giving up those scores.
Yeah, so we're going to give defense B-, just because we can improve. There's room for improvement. For sure. So let's go on to, real quick, special teams. One play that sticks out, in my opinion, that started to change the game was beginning of the second half. Cordero Patterson with the long return. Like, what's going on there?
I don't know if that was our special teams or if that was coaching making the decision to kick to Cordero Patterson and hopefully pin him deep. But that's a mistake because Cordero Patterson is one of the best in the league. That's why he's on an NFL roster, is that he can return kicks. I mean, he is dynamite when he has the ball in his hands. So the one time we kicked to him, he ran it all the way back to already set the Vikings up to be in field goal range. Yeah. And they got a field goal out of that.
That was their first points of the game right there.
Yeah. So automatic momentum swing right then and there. Other than that play, though, and it was pretty big for momentum, I thought our special teams played pretty well. Mark Mariani, he played his first game back as a Titan. He caught all the punts that were down his way. He didn't fumble the ball. He made the right decisions on, returning punts and making fair catch decisions. And he looked fine returning kickoffs.
I agree.
He got upfield. No complaints in the return game on the Titan side.
We're gonna give him a B overall. Nothing bad, but still kind of like the defense. Room for improvement.
Yeah.
Got to shut that down. We don't want teams gaining that many yards on kickoff return. It's
and automatically being in scoring position.
So last, and this is kind of a big one, coaching. Where do you want to start with this one? What did you think?
I mean, it started out okay. It started out good. I think some key things that stood out to me were some of the play calls on 3rd and short. We're a smash mouth team. We should be able to pick up a yard if need be, and we got a little too fancy with some of the play calls there on separate occasions. As far as coming out of the half, we kind of already touched on this, but making the halftime adjustments or adjusting to what Minnesota did and making adjustments for the Titans to readjust to that. But
making adjustments to their adjustments that they had made, that they adjusted for us.
Yeah, let's roll with that. That'll be fine.
That'll work.
But yeah, I think we just simply got outcoached in a lot of aspects in the second half. We never really picked up on that momentum that we had in the first half.
I felt like we just got too exotic, too like fancy. Tried to maybe outthink ourselves. Like I just felt like we shied away from this whole smash mouth football that we've been preaching for months, and like we didn't see it. Yeah, we saw it on first down, but when the tough yards come, the 3rd and shorts, maybe 4th and shorts eventually this year, like we have to be able to pound that ball and get those short yards by running the ball. I don't care if it's a Mariota sneak, I don't care if it's Murray or Henry. Like if we're gonna preach that we're smash mouth power run football, then you have to power run in those situations.
Right.
In my opinion.
And I think it's important to establish that early in the first handful of games. So then later on in the season, maybe you can try to change things up, like do some play action and really make some big plays out of 3rd and 4th and shorts in the future. But yeah,
that was my big knock on coaching, because I just felt like the wrong plays were called in those situations, and we just got away from, like I said, we weren't getting the big breakaway runs early, but we were getting enough yards to where later the defense was going to be worn down and we could have broken some big runs if we had stuck with it. Yeah, we got behind with the turnovers, but still, like I said, we came out in the second half just like timid and kind of playing around. Not really. That could have been the time we could have stretched our lead to 17-0, 17-3 or something if we gone down and scored that touchdown, and just evaporated just like that. Well, so overall, those were kind of our big coaching issues. So we're gonna give coaching a C here. Might have been a little rough. You can always kind of blame the coaches for a loss, but the turnovers, those were on Mariota and Murray for sure. So yeah, that's kind of our overall grading of some of the 4 big key areas. And like you said, like we've said, if you want to hear our full reactions and full breakdown of the game, go check out our podcast and the other video. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much. Stick with us. Stick with this team. We will never lose faith in this team.
We will never, ever.
If we go 0-16, we're gonna be hyped to make a Super Bowl run the next year.
We'll be here every week, loving the Titans even harder. Yes, harder and more. And also, let us know your thoughts on the game. Like, I want to hear your thoughts on our thoughts. And then,
did we miss something? Are we off base somewhere?
Yeah. So let us know your thoughts on our thoughts, and then when
we're fans just like you.
Let me finish my thoughts.
Okay.
So let us know your thoughts on our thoughts, and then we'll let you know our thoughts about your thoughts about our thoughts, and then you can let us know your thoughts about our thoughts about your thoughts about our thoughts.
So who's doing the thinking?
If we left something out, let us know. This is open discussion. Season has started, which is awesome. Yeah, we're 0-1, but so are the Panthers, and they were in the Super Bowl last year.
You know who else is 0-1? The Colts and the Jaguars.
Suck it, Colts!
We are second in the division, baby. Feels good. Feels good to be second.
Anyways,
for once.
Thank you for watching. Let's go, Titans!
Okay.
Chug that monster, bro.